So hello and welcome to the New Gig podcast. I'm your host, Glen Hodgson, and today I'm delighted to be joined by freelance photographer, Liisa Eelsoo. How are you doing, Liisa?
Hi, Glen. I'm doing very good. Um, yeah. Um,
Good. Great to have you on the program. So please, let's just begin by saying a little bit about yourself, Liisa, and how you got into sort of the photography lifestyle and then built a business out of it.
yeah, so I'm born in Estonia, and I'm born at the countryside. And when I was 10 years old, we moved to Sweden.
Yeah.
And there we moved to a really small town in northern Sweden where it was like 300 people living. So I had lived in very like small places.
Yeah.
And then after school or high school, I started to study in Uppsala. And I now have a bachelor in media and communications from Uppsala University.
Excellent.
And it was like a really big change to move from a little town to a big city.
Yeah.
That Uppsala was back in the days, or like for me then. But photography has been something that I've done since I was 14 years old. So it has been something that has been in my lifestyle for quite a while. And yeah, I've had like different part-time jobs as well while studying. But I always wanted to be a photographer. That's been like my goal and my dream, and like I've always been like really artistic and like to sing and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so when I graduated, I started to work as a photographer, and I worked as a graphic designer as like a part-time job. But I thought that it was a bit hard to have like two jobs.
Okay.
Particularly because I was really open about that I wanted to. I had to like work very. Like I had to work on my photography business as well. I couldn't always be there in like these days. That I had to be very flexible. And we had talked about it, but it didn't really work out that way. So it started clashing. And then my employer got like a little bit annoyed at me because of it.
Had to choose.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to like choose what to do. And I chose to go on with my own business 100%.
That's fantastic. I really enjoy the story and the fact that very early on you realized that you've got a passion and then wanted to build this out, not just into sort of a hobby, but actually a business as well. I mean, how did you go about this? Because it's one thing being someone who's interested in photography, images, design and art, but actually creating a business out of it. You know, there's all the tax returns, there's the VAT, there's sending invoices, there's the marketing. There's so many kind of elements behind it to sort of running a business and starting a business. How did you sort of go about sort of educating yourself on these elements too?
Yeah, there is a lot of new things that you don't really learn in school. So you have to learn it while working, basically. Like there is Skatteverket's website. You Google it and like find information, and then I have like economy persons
Yeah.
who are working for me, who are helping me, so I don't do everything myself.
Yes.
But so I can like focus more on the creative stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand that as well, that like building a business is not that easy. But because it is my passion, I'm really like driven about it. I want to I know that it is worth it in the end of the day, even if it's like a bit hard in the beginning. You have to find customers, and like there is so much new information, and like for me it's like a bit like old school almost. It's so much like, you know, you have to work, or like you have to get your salary and this day, and like different rules. Like
Yeah.
I would love it to be more like flexible, you know, like according to me. You know. Yeah. Yeah, but it's all about like learning by doing. And if you're good at something, people will think you're good, and they will pay for it as well. So
Yes. Yeah.
and they will talk about it, like that I'm a good photographer, and I will get more and more customers that way as well. And then you have to be very like social and like out there, network. You can't be afraid. But I post a lot of on social media as well.
Right. Yeah.
Like Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn as well. All the time, as you've seen too.
Yes, I've seen great portfolio which is out there, and I think sort of making the most of it, using the channels to be able to show your talents and your skills, which of course are very visual. Great to be using the latest channels and mediums to be able to get those out to a broader audience.
Yeah, and that way I build a brand as well. Like by posting, and people will get to know me, and they feel that they know me, and that way when they see a person, they are feeling maybe more connected, and they will connect with me.
Yeah. I think it's important. Yeah, building the brand and building the connection. It's, you know, you're not just buying a camera, you're buying a person who has ideas, thoughts about composition, and creating a bit of a narrative with the images. It's crucial.
Yeah, exactly. And like I would say, for anyone who wants to start their own business, you have to just do it.
Yeah.
And you have to believe in yourself as well. And there will be like hard times, and like difficult times where you don't like understand anything, or like you don't know like when will the next customer come, you know. But you have to, like, it's a mental thing. You have to like prepare yourself, and like it will be fine, you know. You're the best. You know.
It's a good
Yeah,
approach.
you have to be positive.
Well, you do. I mean, it's you know, speaking from sort of personal experience as well, of course, it's a roller coaster. You can't plan in terms of what's going to happen, when things are going to come in. You can have too much, you can have too little. We've got things that go wrong, and you're responsible for sort of fixing those things yourself as well, Liisa. This is the element that you need to sort of get used to.
Yeah, but I think it's a good thing too, because you like learn so much.
Yeah.
And because I have to do everything. I can't like I can ask for help, but I have to like understand myself too. So it's like really good school.
Yeah, I fully agree. Learn by doing is a very important way of approaching these things. And what was the stage that you thought to yourself, well, I don't want to have a traditional 9 to 5 job, whether it's at a desk or out in the fresh air. When did you realize that, I want something a little bit different? I want to sort of start my own my own thing. Was this quite early on, or was it something that sort of just came over time, Liisa?
Yeah, so I think like I've always been like I've been a really creative person. So like I've liked to think outside the box in a way.
Yeah.
Like I haven't never thought of like you have to only have one job and it's 9 to 5.
Okay.
But and with the like social media, you can like see this like on YouTube, for example, you can see different people all over the world doing things that they like, they're working with it, and that's like that has been an inspiration for me as well.
Yeah.
And I see that you can do something different. And then like in my family, it's quite common to have like your own a company as well.
Right.
So when I'm grown up, I've seen like that they don't go to a job always, like
Yeah.
from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But they can, like, if they want to do, they can do something else. Like you can plan your day more flexible and like more free, and it's so much. I think it's so much better.
Yeah.
But that's like my opinion. But yeah, for me, it's it works out, and I like it, and lifestyle of having your own company, and like you have to do everything yourself. You have
Yeah.
to, but at the same time, you can get so much freedom.
Hmm. I think that's fantastic, and really underlines the sort of the driving elements of doing this. And for people who are watching or listening now, Liisa, what are the pieces of advice that you'd give in terms of turning your passion into a business? You've said get going and learn by doing is a strong element, but anything else, any hints and tips that you could share?
Well, I think like first you have to think, what are you better at than anyone else? You have
Right.
to have have a product or like a service. You have to like think of are my best what am I best at.
Yeah.
um, and then you should it's very important to like network, meet people,
Yeah.
say yes to things.
I love that. I love that. Say yes and
Yeah,
and see where it takes you. I'm a
exactly.
strong advocate as well, Liisa, of doing this. Just say yes, see where it goes. It's not going to work out 100% every time. It's not going to be perfect, but it just takes you to a different place. So yeah, love that mindset. I think that's very strong.
Yeah, you really have to take risk and like go and speak with people that you think are interesting. Just go and present yourself. Don't be afraid. Just do it.
Just do it. I love that approach
Yeah.
as well. I think it's important to, and I think it's difficult as well, because regardless of your personality, it's very hard to do this. But particularly if you're a little bit more introverted, you have to force yourself to really get out there, to network physically, digitally, to make connections as well. I think that's just something that you've got to get used to and get more comfortable with.
Yeah, and it never gets really like comfortable, I think, but it's like it's it's so rewarding afterwards, you
Yeah.
know, when
Yeah.
you've done it.
Yeah.
Um and it has to be, you have to be a little bit nervous, and it has to be like a little bit scary, so that afterwards it feels really good that you've done it.
Agreed.
um yeah, and then I think like you have to build a reputation, like you have to be serious. Like you have to be seen serious in your business field too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like too much of a hobby. Like a photographer, a lot of people think that, oh, you can't work as a photographer. It's just a hobby, maybe. But like that's my problem, like in my field. So I have to like maybe do some things to build a reputation and show like this is serious, and like I'm a professional photographer. I have these customers. I have an education. I have yeah, like so that's really important too.
Yeah. I think it's a good point. And also I think that you get onto a point there that it's not just a case of taking pictures, it's the editing, it's the planning, it's the speaking with the individuals beforehand. What do they want to get out of it? Giving your sort of advice on whatever kind of shoot it's going to be and what it's going to be used for. So buying into your sort of artistic competence as well as just being there and taking pictures. I think that's probably the education process you've got to go through as well, to educate individuals about what this is involved to do this professionally.
Yeah, exactly. There is a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes as well. That takes time. It's like with any other business, almost. You have to plan, you have to like set goals, and try to work towards the goals. And I do everything myself, so there is a lot of job to do.
Yeah.
And the editing takes a lot of time too, and like choosing out the photos is very hard. When you have taken like thousands and thousands of photos, and like you have to plan your time yourself, or like I have to do that all the time. So it's important to have like discipline yourself too, to like
discipline and dedication then sounds like important things to have to keep going and to sort of build the business and to grow it. And I guess this kind of you talked a little bit about the use of digital media channels. Is this something that's sort of facilitating the ability to be able to build a business and to grow it, would you say, Liisa?
I think like today social media is a very good channel to be on. And I haven't really like paid for any ads either.
Okay.
So it's a really good deal for me to be on social media. And just like share everything I'm doing and like show what I can do, and people love it. So it's very strange too sometimes, because like I've had like people come like in real life come and talk to me and be like, oh, I follow you on Instagram. And it's strange when you're most of my time I'm like myself at home or like with my phone, just like filming something, and then I see like, okay, there is hundreds of people seeing this, but like I can't see their faces, so it's like it's a bit strange but cool at the same time to like have like all these people following you. I can't really like but it's very like interesting with the social media and digitalization, like how it works.
And get to a bigger audience, but also how to use it properly to be able to create awareness, but also build communities as well. I think this is the important part of word of mouth is still crucial in terms of building a business or building a profile. But equally important is the digital footprint and the digital network and digital relationships as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to be posting on social media.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, I think you're really good at it. You're like always filming yourself, and that's good because like video is the next thing too. Like
yeah,
talk and like you have to like start filming yourself, um,
yeah.
talking to the camera. Very, very good. Yeah.
I think it is the next step, and I think that, you know, whatever feels comfortable or not, it has to be done because it has more of a connection by how to sort of use the sort of the digital media, and it does create a link in a different way if used properly. And I think just to be able to sort of highlight some of the things you're doing and actually to bring people on the journey as well, I think is important through these digitalization channels which have been made available to us. And now there are certain ones, but of course in the future I think this is just going to develop and develop, and it's a case of staying if not ahead of the game, at least with the game in terms of how to use these things and how to use them properly as well. I think is important.
Um, yeah, I can only agree on that. And yeah, I've been on social media since like 2007, maybe. I
Okay.
was one of the first who got Facebook in my school.
All right. Oh, there we go. 2007. Yeah,
Yeah,
early days. That's good.
yeah, something like that. So yeah, I've been like on the whole journey, maybe in some way too, like from the beginning, and like it. Um, yeah, I started my Facebook 2012, like my
Okay.
professional Facebook,
Wow.
and
Veteran and a professional
so that's
veteran
like
already. 10 years.
10 years ago. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies.
It really does. It really does. And I think you also hit upon a very interesting point there, Lisa, about the whole idea of education. And you said this right at the beginning as well, that in school they don't teach you how to start a business. They don't teach you how to learn how to sort of market yourself or your activities or your services. They don't teach you how to sort of use different channels or to learn what are the important things to learn about in running a business. And maybe this is something that needs to change for the future.
Yeah, so I think like the courses at university, they're like really critical, or like it's good to be like critical on social media and that
Mm,
kind of stuff, but yeah, they don't really like teach you
yeah,
uh, how to do it. It's more like how to think about these things
yeah,
in a critical like way. Uh,
mm,
uh, but yeah, I think like the school of business in like um, being a business owner is a better way to learn, like learning by
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
And at university too, you have to like always they have like a certain answer to everything. There
Yeah,
is like
yes.
you can't
Yeah.
have wrong, and
Mm,
when you have the wrong answer, then you're yeah you can't go on with your course.
mm.
But that's not in life. But to make mistakes in life, it's a good thing.
It is.
Uh,
You either win or you learn. There's no losing. Definitely not.
exactly. And I have studied entrepreneurship at university too, and
Yeah.
like we had a course where um, there was like art students and economic students
Yeah.
at the course, and but it was like most about like the history of entrepreneurship and like more of the like
Yeah.
theories.
Yeah.
um and well, it's like very interesting to know, and it was like, yeah, interesting course, but I don't like, I would not say that like I learned like to think about, or like outside the box from it,
Yeah.
from the course.
And that's
Because
that's
like,
something, yeah, we need to look at. Yeah.
yeah, and then we had to do a business plan as well.
Okay.
uh, and like now I have like some kind of business plan, I think. I don't even remember if I maybe have written some paper on it,
Yeah.
but I haven't like looked on it. So like I always, it evolves all the time. I have like some
Does.
ideas
Yeah.
in my head, and then it changes, like, all the time.
Mm. Mm.
So the business plan doesn't even matter really. Maybe, yeah. And mm, yeah, and like most of the people that I study with as well, they have regular jobs.
Okay.
So they've
Yep.
chosen the 9 to 5 and not the entrepreneurship,
They might
even
be
if it is
jealous
like
of you and
maybe.
the approach you've taken, Liisa.
I hope they're happy for me. uh, I hope they will start their businesses too,
I think
and
so.
will be inspired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like maybe the risk is too high for them. It could be
Okay.
like it's too risky, and they're like a bit afraid of taking the risk.
Mm.
Because like entrepreneurship at university is like really like everyone wants to be entrepreneurship, and there is like a lot of like talk about the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs, and like at Uppsala they have like every year they have Anders Wall föreläsning at the university hall.
Right.
Yep. Where they invite like different entrepreneurs and they talk about their businesses, and it's always like full.
Right.
And yeah, it's very like inspiring, but yeah, I think like when I studied too, I started like more like, maybe like, media and communications.
Mm.
It's more like artsy education than like economics maybe. And
Yeah.
there was like a lot of like economic, there is like some kind of like standard of the who is the entrepreneur.
Mm.
And it's like maybe the entrepreneur or economic students who are the standard,
Okay. Mm.
entrepreneurs. Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lot of updating needs to happen in terms of what is entrepreneurship, but also giving that practical help. I think I think it was Thomas Edison said that entrepreneurship is 1% innovation and 99% in perspiration. And I think it's that dedication and knowing how to do sort of the basics, how to do sort of the kind of more boring stuff, you could say, but it's part and parcel of developing a business and developing an idea. And probably there is an opening there within the education and more broader business marketplace in helping people to be able to start a business on and make money out of their passion. Because as you say, being an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship are very, very exciting and very popular for a whole range of people.
Yeah, like everyone wishes to be an entrepreneur in some way, or like I've seen like statistics about it, like what do young people want to be in the future, and it's very popular to be an entrepreneur. And but I think like people don't really know what the entrepreneur is, or like what is really what it is, maybe. And they expect that they are starting a company and will become like a millionaire in 1 year, you know.
Oh, doesn't usually happen
And
like
like living the
that.
glam life, you know, they're living the glam life directly and taking like private jets and stuff. But yeah, you have to take it step by step.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of like maybe as well, like people who think that oh, I will get some very large investments directly, and that way I will become, you know, they yeah, like a millionaire and like have a lot of money very fast. But that usually doesn't like happen. It's like
No.
maybe some percent.
Yeah.
It's like the unicorns. It happens, but
that's why the unicorns, they're very, very rare, and particularly in with the fact that free money doesn't exist anymore. I think a lot of resetting expectations needs to happen. But I mean, it's been fantastic speaking with you, Liisa, because I really appreciate the hints and tips that you've given. I'm sure our viewers and listeners will too, and I shall make sure that I put the links to your social media channels and also the website in the comments section below. So really appreciate your time, Liisa.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And my dad is really excited about that I'm in this podcast.
Well,
hello, Thomas.
I hope to be able to keep him happy with this then, and he can share it amongst his colleagues and friends. But
yeah, he will.
Appreciate your time, Liisa. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you. It has been a blast.